Hello, everyone, and welcome to the New Hampshire College Fieldhouse for today's New England Collegiate Conference game between the Penmen of New Hampshire College and the University of Bridgeport. Big weekend for the Penmen. Bridgeport today, Sacred Heart tomorrow, both games here on CMUR. Penman Dave coming off a big victory on Wednesday night over Franklin Pierce, and it's important that they stay focused all weekend long.
Well, you know, just to talk about the game against Franklin Pierce, it was very big. They'd lost 2 games. First league game they'd lost. The previous weekend, they came off losing 2 in a row, got hammered by St. A's in the game, so it was a very important win, both psychologically and within the league. It gave Pierce their first loss, and as Coach Spiro said, it was their best game of the season. He hasn't seen them that intense. 55 points against a very good Pierce team is something special.
Obviously, the key to that victory was defense.
Defense is the key to every victory. I don't care who you play, except every big game against every good team, and it'll be the case tomorrow in the game in the Super Bowl, as well as the game here. But as I said, they were very intense, and that's the key in today's game. It's to see, you know, the big thing that I'd be concerned about, and Stanley and I were talking about before the game, is a letdown. They had the 2 losses. They needed that win against Franklin Pierce. They came at Franklin Pierce, and they got it. And now they're playing a team that's kind of down in Bridgeport. They've lost some guys academically ineligible. So they're not really expected the toughest game in the world. Young teams sometimes let down. So the big thing to see in this game, Ken, is to see how they play in the first 3 or 4 minutes. Are they intense on defense? Do they have a lot of turnovers? If they don't have those, they'll be in fine shape.
It's the Penmen of New Hampshire College and the Purple Knights of the University of Bridgeport on CMUR. We'll be back with the starting lineups and the opening tip right after these messages. As far as the NCAA Division II rankings are concerned. We're just about set for the starting lineup, so let's go over to public address announcer Ernie Greenberg.
Before we meet today's starting lineups, ladies and gentlemen, would you please direct your attention to mid-court, where Joyce Bresciani of the Center of New Hampshire Holiday Inn is set to present Orlando Ranson with the Holiday Inn ECAC Rookie of the Week Award. Bino was selected for the honor after leading the Penmen to 2 wins over Keene State and Southern Connecticut 2 weeks ago. Congratulations, Bino, and a special thanks to Holiday Inn for their continued support of collegiate athletics throughout New England. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet our starting lineups for this afternoon's game. For the University of Bridgeport, starting at forward, a 6'2" freshman from Jamaica, New York, number 24, Osier Hastings. And for the Penmen at forward, a 6'6" junior from East Hampton, New York, number 40, tri-captain Scotty Smith. At forward for Bridgeport from New York City, a 6'5" sophomore, number 45, Brendan Boyce. And for the Penmen, at guard from Baltimore, Maryland, a 6'3" freshman, number 30, Bino Ranson. At forward for the University of Bridgeport, a 6'4" senior from Hartford, Connecticut, number 40, Herdell Christie. At guard for the Penmen, a 6'3" sophomore from Dallas, Texas, number 10, Ray Blackwell. At guard for Bridgeport, from Amherstburg, Ontario, a 5'10" junior, number 13, Jamie Stewart. And for the Penmen at guard, from Hamden, Connecticut, a 6'4" junior, number 34, Shawan Moncrief. At guard for Bridgeport, a 5'9" senior from Worcester, Massachusetts, number 15, Jeff Bailey. And for the Penmen at guard, a 6'3" senior from Merrimack, New Hampshire, number 5, Tri-Captain Matt Rapaldi. Introducing your head coaches for Bridgeport in his 31st year, Bruce Webster. And for the Penmen in his 11th season, Stan Spiro.
And this will be the 36th meeting between these two teams. Bridgeport leading the all-time series, 19-16. However, New Hampshire College has won 4 out of the last 5 meetings between the two teams.
This series has gone in streaks. I remember in the early 80s, New Hampshire College had a pretty good streak against Bridgeport, and then Bridgeport turned it around. And when New Hampshire College was at the peak, they seemed to knock them off. And then, of course, the years with Lambert Shell, and now as assistant coach there. Best freshman I've seen in my 15 years on the scene. Guy was immediately great. He's now an assistant, and his team went to the Final Four 3 times. So there's been some great games here. Bridgeport a little bit down after the school nearly closed a couple of years ago. And now they're trying to recoup and get themselves back on track.
Let's take a look at our officials for this afternoon's ball game. You see Donnie Winterton, Robert Patey, and Rick Manser. And Dave, it's good to see Lambert Shell on the bench in civilian clothes rather than in uniform.
Well, he's got a beard, and I didn't recognize him. But looks a little bit different.
Scotty Smith set to jump center for the Penmen of New Hampshire College against Brendan Boyce of the University of Bridgeport Purple Knights. And we're just about underway at the field house on a Saturday afternoon. Tip controlled by the Purple Knights. Jamie Stewart, the 5'10" junior, bringing that ball up for Bridgeport. Bailey down the lane, lay it up and in. Jeff Bailey with the first hoop of the ball game.
I'm just impressed with his socks. I haven't seen a guy wear his socks that high other than Lawrence Moten since the 70s. Look at those things. Anyway, you got to watch out for him. He's got the most. He's taken 97 threes. So you start with protecting out there, and he's got the quickness to go inside. That's what he did.
Bino Ranson up top for the Penmen, swings it around to Rapaldi, back to Bino.
Remember I said early on, Ken, look for the Penmen. Number 1, their shot selection. That was not a good one, and how they play defensively. So they've got, I think, 2 mistakes right off the bat to see how intense they are. Those are the keys. Shot selection, running the offense, and how intense you are in defense.
Jamie Stewart on the wing to Brendan Boyce for Bridgeport, leading 2-0. Now Bailey with it for the Purple Knights. We played just over a minute at the field house. Bridgeport leading 2-0.
That's a bit of a quickness mismatch, too. With
now reverse layup by Herdal Christie.
You know, Bailey's being covered by Blackwell, who generally has been covering forwards most of the season. Now he's covering a 5'9" quick point guard.
Matt Rapaldi for New Hampshire College between the circles to Bino, back to Rapaldi.
That's 2 layups, by the way.
Now Bino Ransom swings it around to Shawan Moncrief. Now Rapaldi on the baseline, swings it back out to Moncrief. Blackwell for 3. And it's a 1-point ball game.
Ball has not gotten inside the paint offensively, however. 2 threes to start the game.
Bailey lets it go and hits. Bailey with his second hoop of the ball game, and Bridgeport leads it 6-3. And immediately Stan Spiro up off the New Hampshire College bench. Timeout on the court, a 20-second timeout. We'll be back with more on CMUR after this timeout.
Cabletron is a proud sponsor of New Hampshire Athletics. Cabletron, the best network we've ever built.
And we're back at the field house. Stan Spiro not liking what he's seen over the first 2 minutes of this ball game.
As I say, 2 layups on the first 2 possessions, 2 3-point shots on the other side. That's not how you get it done. And I think that was a very good timeout. As I said, young guys tend to lose their focus from game to game, and you got to make sure in this particular game that they don't do that. They're at home for 2. They got to get wins. Lemoyne's got a tough weekend, and this looks like a 3-team race in the NECC, so they got to get out of here minimum with a split, maybe with 2 in a row.
Yeah, it's a 2-point field goal for Bino Ranson as he let it go just inside the 3-point line.
Still no ball inside the paint.
Jamie Stewart swings it around to Jeff Bailey for Bridgeport. Bailey driving in the paint. His shot is rejected, but picked up, however, by Bridgeport. There's a 12-footer in the lane by Christie. Herdal Christie for Bridgeport. Bridgeport by 3. Penman with the basketball. Rapaldi swings it around to Blackwell. Back to Rapaldi. Now Blackwell driving baseline, spins. Pitches back out. Ranson to Rapaldi for 3.
Give that guy time to set, and he'll kill you. Bridgeport's out in the 2-1-2 zone. They're trying to take everything out of the blue and force the shots from the outside. It's worked so far.
Rebound tipped by Blackwell to Smith, ahead to Moncrief. Now Moncrief for New Hampshire College to Rapaldi. Rapaldi on the block to Smith. Turnaround shot by Smith. He forced it up there and threw up an air ball.
Air ball, it's the longest inside shot I've ever seen.
Bailey's shot goes up over the basket and out of bounds.
It was hit on the way up, though. That's why he lost control and had to force up, but it wasn't hit quite as hard as he thought it was going to. And that's why he took the 9-footer from 3 feet away from the basket.
We're tied at 8. We've played just over 3.5 minutes here at the field house. Bino Ranson for the Penman of New Hampshire College to Blackwell.
Not exactly the most aggressive zone I've ever seen in the part of Bridgeport.
Scotty Smith has it rejected by Brendan Boyce.
And I'll take those. Now that last 2 times you're going inside, that's what they need to do.
Jeff Bailey gives it off to Jamie Stewart. Corner to Hastings. And we have our first foul of the ball game whistled against New Hampshire College.
Ray Blackwell came from the correct side there. He was cut by a pick or blocked off by a pick, but he came around to try and intercept that going to the baseline. And if Christie makes the catch, he's got to turn back inside. So that was the right defensive technique.
15:59 to go in the opening half, and we'll have more basketball on CMUR right after these messages.
There is power in a dream, and every hour a dreamer is born. Just imagine the friends we made, the lives we touched, the glory days. 10 years of dreams, 10 years of dreams, 10 years of dreams come true.
Life is pretty hectic for Dan and me, but we love spending time with the kids. And when they win the big game, well, that's cause for celebration. Kids are important to us. That's why we have a credit card from First NH Bank. Each time we use it, a portion of what we charge is donated to the New Hampshire Public School of our choice. A credit card that does good things for our kids' education. That's not just a great idea. That's banking my way.
We're tied at 8. Bridgeport will inbound following the first foul of the game, which was charged against New Hampshire College's Ray Blackwell. We're tied at 8 at the field house. First of 2 this weekend on CMUR. Christie with the basketball. 12-footer in the lane short. He was bothered by Scotty Smith. Rebound by Bino Ranson. Now Bino for the Penman brings it back out. Swings it to Rapaldi. Back to Bino. Bino to Rapaldi. Now cross court to Blackwell, to Moncrief rather, up top to Ray Blackwell. Moncrief with it. Moncrief just inside the line. Takes the shot, no good. And in the rebounding action, another foul called against the Penman.
And once again, that was an aggressive play. Some people don't like guys to take an early foul like that, but that is, he thought he had a chance to sneak up from behind and make the steal. There it is in the replay. And that's what point guards are supposed to do. They're supposed to make people think or catch big men when they're not thinking, come away with a steal and maybe a basket or a foul on the other side. So that was worth the risk.
Jamie Stewart with it for Bridgeport.
I've been playing man-to-man, extended out past it, probably about 15 feet past the 3-point line.
Now Jeff Bailey down low for the layup by Brendan Boyce.
Yeah, that was bad inside defensive position. Boyce just had the defender on his back. I think it was Smith, and nothing Smith could do about it once he caught it. He make it tough to catch.
Missing the layup. Gets the rebound, blocked by Brendan Boyce, who has become a presence here in the early going for Bridgeport.
Got 2 nice blocks.
Jamie Stewart with it for the Purple Knights. Bridgeport with the basketball, leading by 2, 14.5 minutes to go in the opening half. Boyce lets it go short. Rebound tipped from Blackwell to Ranson. Now Bino into the forecourt for the Penmen. On the block to Scotty Smith. Smith turn around in the lane over Boyce, no good. Boyce gets the rebound. Over to Jamie Stewart. Now Stewart down the lane, lay it up short. Hit the underside of the rim, pulled down by Blackwell to Ranson. Now Blackwell thought 3, gives off to Bino. The shot no good. Moncrief with the rebound.
A good push off by Moncrief underneath, didn't get caught.
Now Moncrief threw up an air ball, pulled down by Bridgeport. Hastings gives it off. Now it's Bailey.
That was great ball movement. Good job. 3 passes on the break. They knew where the guy who was spotting up in the corner, Bailey, was, and they just went boom, boom, across the court, found the 3-point shooter. Good ball movement.
Bailey with 7 points for the Purple Knights. New Hampshire College trails by 5. Now Blackwell gives it off to Smith. No good. Rebound Boyce.
I think the last 2, he knew Boyce was in the neighborhood, so he hurried him up there. Didn't get the full extension on either of those shots and back-rimmed it as a result.
Jamie Stewart for the University of Bridgeport. Bridgeport 7-9 overall, 4-6 in the New England Collegiate Conference.
You can see Bridgeport trying to control the pace. You know, they don't want to get into an end-to-end game. They want to pick their spots when to break, and then when they get into the half court, they're willing to spread it out and take 20 seconds off the clock, see if the defense sags down a little bit so they can get balls, you know, inside or shots inside the paint like they did in that last one.
Ranson's pass knocked out of bounds by Christie. Fritz Michael checking into the ball game for the first time today for New Hampshire College, along with Tariq Shepard.
It's the earliest we've seen the big guy.
Yes, it is.
In a ball game.
Scotty Smith and Shawan Moncrief go to the bench for Stan Spiro's team. Blackwell tries to get it to Michael, but it's stolen away. Now it's Bailey ahead of the pack. Lay it up and in.
Okay, we're legitimately 7 minutes, almost 7 minutes into this ball game. Penman definitely look flat. They're, you know, it's not so much they're not making their shots. There's not a lot of energy on defense, not a lot of overplay. You watch, hands are down at their sides, not up in the passing lanes trying to deflect passes. That's the sign of a team that's flat coming in.
Ray Blackwell hits his 2nd tray of the ball game. And the Penmen back to within 4 at 15-11. Stewart for Bridgeport, pitches off underneath for Boyce. And we have a foul called on New Hampshire College. That's 3 on the Penmen.
Yeah,
Bridgeport has yet to be whistled for a foul.
There's a quickness edge. Look at it, just blows by Ranson, and his defense went to shut his drive down. His Blackwell on the hit, but it was a nice dish, and the defenders, Blackwell and Rapaldi, went to stop the drive. Then they went back to help in that block area, and they couldn't get there in time, picked up the foul. That is the responsibility, really. That breakdown is because of the penetrating guard got past Ranson.
Nick Karageorge in the ball game for New Hampshire College, replacing Ray Blackwell, who just picked up his 2nd personal foul.
Ray probably has played better than anybody so far. Hit a couple of threes, had a couple of nice ball movements on the offensive end.
Brendan Boyce on the line for Bridgeport, and he has been a presence out there in the early going, with a couple of blocks, a few loud rebounds.
We might see Stanley go to some kind of a zone defense, maybe that matchup that he uses a lot, or some other kind of zone. Bridgeport not as big a threat to shoot it from 3-point land. And if they go to a zone, they take away the quickness advantage they've got in the guards, and that'll reduce the penetration, force them to shoot it from the outside.
Rapaldi misses the 3. Rebound kept alive by Fritz Michael, but it's stolen away by Hastings. And we're going to have a foul on Michael, but good effort there by Fritz Michael underneath to keep it alive.
Still looks a little awkward in his actions. Not his timing seems still to be off, or at least it was on that play. But give him the A for effort on staying with it, not getting frustrated, and just not just giving up.
Timeout on the court. Penmen trail it by 5. More basketball on CMUR right after these messages.
Step back, please.
get ready to ride at one of these New Hampshire Harley-Davidson dealers.
They say you should always have the right tool for the right job. Now, this is especially true when it comes to the shovel. If you're up at Waterville Valley, you want the heavy-duty snow shovel. And they just beefed up their snowmaking by 25%. So we're talking blizzard conditions on a daily basis. And the heavy-duty shovel also comes in pretty handy when some of those other ski areas start telling you how much snow they have. It gets pretty deep.
Bridgeport to inbound the basketball, leading here by 5 points. Penman getting very little penetration offensively.
This is almost a four corners offense. Haven't seen that since they brought in the clock. This is definitely a ploy by Bruce Webster, or a strategy by Bruce Webster to slow down the game and see if they can get New Hampshire College to be lazy mentally on defense.
Now three-pointer taken by Bailey, no good, and the rebound Matt Rapaldi.
Good job by Nico to stay with it and get back into the shot.
Bino Ranson to Kara George for three.
All right, ditto. That time offensively, spotted up. Bino did a nice job moving around the key.
Now a driving layup down the other end by Jamie Stewart.
No help down low and beat out front. They've got to pick these guys up earlier, or at least be aware that they're going to be early. Maybe back off a couple of steps and say, look, Bailey, you're going to beat me with a three.
And Kara George misses that three. Rebound by Boyce. Now into the forecourt, it's Stewart.
Not
Stewart. Bailey for three.
No, not Bailey. I meant Stewart. Give him the three. Bailey can hit it.
Boyce follows, no good. And in the rebounding action, Tariq Shepard goes down, and he's called for steps. 10:37 to go as you see Bruce Webster giving a pat on the back to Jeff Bailey on the Bridgeport sidelines. Bruce Webster in his 31st year at the University of Bridgeport, a career record of 537 wins, 326 losses, and he stuck with that program when times were very, very difficult for the Purple Knights.
Or was he stuck with the program when times were very, very difficult?
I guess there's two schools of thought on that.
And that's not an aspersion on his ability as a coach. He's a cagey guy. Has really had some great teams here. Had a run prior to New Hampshire College's 3 run to the Final Four. They did the same thing the 3 previous years, and year in and year out, this guy does a good job. But it may also be the fact that once you hit a certain age in your coaching life, it's tough to move on, and 31 years in one place is a long time.
They had some severe financial problems. It looked like the school was going to close down forever a couple of years ago. And Bruce was driving a cab at one point. There's a shot down the lane by Osier Hastings. Rob Welch gives off to Tariq Shepard, back to Welch for New Hampshire College. Shepard with it. Penman trailing by 6. Matt Rapaldi to Nick Karageorge out of Manchester Central. Back to Rapaldi.
The guys down low, sorry, Ken, are just not moving and getting their hands and coming to the ball, being aggressive. They're passively tiptoeing through the lane. They got to spread out and say, hey, give me the ball. And if the guards don't do it, have a nice little chat with them during the break.
Again, Bridgeport looking to take some time off the clock here.
Because you're never going to throw the ball if you're a guard down there. If guys just got their hands at their side and they're not stretching out and saying, give it to me.
Stewart for the Purple Knights brings it back out. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. He lets it go and hits. Jamie Stewart.
Can't ask for anything better on the strategy. 30 seconds off the clock, 10-foot shot, defender still 2 steps away, wide open.
Rob Welch thought 3, swings it around. Karageorge, Rapaldi for 3.
Bruce Webster's defense is designed to let them, if they're going to do it on the 4th and 5th pass, okay, we'll let you take the 3. You're not getting anything inside against us.
Penman now with 5 3-point field goals in this one, accounting for most of their scoring.
The trick is defensively, when they've got guys just pounding the ball in there, is you have got to stay alert and overplay. You can't fall asleep, because that's when the defender, the offensive player, will go to that shooting spot and be open. It's hard to play defense totally focused for 30 seconds straight when nothing's happening.
Bailey dishes off now to Stewart, and he's fouled by Welch on the way in.
Just to finish, here's Rob Welch chasing the play down, and gets him with the body, gets him with the arm, gets him on the arm and the body. No question about that. Dan Spiro got the new suit on today. It's from the Michael Irvin collection. I swear, that's the suit he was wearing when he got off the plane at the Super Bowl.
Stanley, as always,
Dapper.
up with the fashion trends of the day. Jamie Stewart on the line to shoot a pair for Bridgeport. Stewart now with 5 points in the ball game. The Penmen have been whistled for 5 fouls, and Bridgeport has yet to be assessed. And the Purple Knights lead it by 6 with 8:16 to go in the opening half. Rebound Shepard. Rob Welch for New Hampshire College. Due to Reek Shepard. Swings it around to Nick Karageorge. Karageorge looking inside. Fritz Michael in the lane. A little jump hook.
Took a little bit of time to get off. It was a nice move, but he had it as soon, just catch and turn. There was no defense. He ran away from the defenders to throw up the little jump hook.
Jamie Stewart for Bridgeport. Bridgeport with the ball, leading by 4, 7:45 to go in the opening half. Christie with it. Christie puts up a baseline shot. Air ball. Rebound underneath by Stewart. No good. And we have a foul whistled.
That was good lateral quickness by Fritz to cut down the baseline. Looked like Christie was going to get it. And he just stays with him, keeps his hand off, and has his hand up in his face as he goes to shoot it. That was good D. Good recovery.
Foul.
And there, of course, is the battle underneath. The little guy, he didn't know what to do. It was probably the first rebound he's ever gotten down there. No, I don't want to cast aspersions on him for that, but it is surprising when you get one down there and you're not real familiar with it. You're going, first of all, you're going, what the heck am I doing with this? Then you know somebody's going to block it when you're going up to shoot it, so you try and get it up there quick.
The last foul was called against Nick Karageorge, his first, and now the Penmen.
All right, I've got the oddity. Maybe we'll get a shot there on the scoreboard if we can at some point. 7 fouls for New Hampshire College, none for the visitors. There it is. I've never seen that ever in 120 years of watching basketball. I was there in the first game when James Naismith was doing it, and they haven't had it since then.
The old peach basket days. Yep. Osier Hastings hits his first from the charity stripe.
But he wasn't in World War I. It could have been Ozier there. No?
Osman Gozet is in the ball game, replacing Nick Karageorge for New Hampshire College.
Friends call him Donnie. Donnie Osman Gozet.
He's back, you know, after a long absence. And now the Purple Knights get it right back, leading by 5. This has not been a very good first half thus far for New Hampshire College. Looking a little flat coming off that big 20-point victory over Franklin Pierce on Wednesday night in Ringe.
I'm kind of surprised Stanley hasn't changed the defense up. Sticking with that man-to-man out. Now it looks like they're playing the matchup. Gozet just switched on Bailey.
Bailey misses. Rebound underneath by Rapaldi, but we're going to have our first foul of the afternoon called on Bridgeport. And you can hear the mock cheer from the crowd assembled here at the New Hampshire College Fieldhouse.
My tendency is to say that was the first box out by Rapaldi. I know it wasn't. He does a good job in that aspect of the game, but that was the best one. I'm telling you, that was a perfect box out.
Timeout on the court. Penman trail it by 5. More basketball on CMUR following these messages.
Attention Northeast car buyers. If you have bad credit and need a car or a truck, you must listen to this official notice. For a limited time only, a $10 million auto credit line with 6 financial institutions is now available for bad credit customers only. You must have bad credit to apply for these funds. If you suffer from bankruptcy, repossession, or have slow or no credit, you cannot be turned down. Call now to reserve your credit line. Operators are standing by.
For Robin, for Andrew and Garrett, and for Sam, for heart-to-heart talk, for peace of mind, or wherever life takes you. There are lots of reasons to choose the Health Source Health Plan. Yours is the one that counts.
We're back at the New Hampshire College Fieldhouse, and Dave, thus far 15 of New Hampshire College's 19 points have come from 3-point baskets.
As I said, I think that's the strategy. They'll say, we'll allow you to beat us with the the open guy on the 4th or 5th pass, but you're not getting anything inside the paint, and you're not getting the quick three.
Penman trailing 5 with the basketball. Bino Ranson for New Hampshire College to Tariq Shepard. Osman Gozette thought about the 3.
That's a little chancy because New Hampshire College has got some good three-point shooters, but what it does do, when you've got that many passes, it allows you to get defensive rebounding shape, so it also cuts down on the second shot. That's not a strength for Bridgeport.
Second follow by Michael is blocked by Brendan Boyce, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by Bridgeport.
I don't know, that could have been Eric Williams type block there by Tariq Shepard on the way out of bounds. Not a chop block by any means. It was a legal play, but he was giving up the body. That's why I like this guy. And he was not allowing, I think it was Christie, to get his hands on that basketball after he touched it.
Now Tariq Shepard, Osman Gozette in the lane. Fritz Michael shot is short, and the loud rebound that time in more ways than one by Brendan Boyce.
I like the loud physical part, not the loud yelling part.
Jeff Bailey now has 11 points to lead Bridgeport.
Every time I hear that, Larry Johnson goes farther down on the scale. Got a ways to get to Dion, but he's getting down there, I'm telling you.
Now Rapaldi brings it back out to Bino Ranson. Bino to Rapaldi. Back to Bino. Now Bino in the lane, dishes off to Michael. Baseline shot, air ball. Shepard with the rebound, keeps it in bounds to Gozette.
Them in the last 4 or 5 times, though, are doing a better job of getting the ball inside.
Now Bino for 3.
His feet were on the line. Good passing around by Rip, though, to find the open guy in the corner.
It's a 4-point game. Bridgeport with the lead in the basketball. 5:25 to go in the opening half here at the New Hampshire College Fieldhouse.
See, Bino's doing the right thing. There's a quickness advantage there, so he's backed off 4 or 5 steps and says, all right, we're going to catch up to you guys. They won't be able to do that once it's a 6 or 7, or if it ever gets to a 6 or 7 point lead.
Christie thundering down the lane. His shot no good. Rapaldi ahead to Bino Ranson. Now Ranson down the lane. Throws one up, around, no good. Michael the rebound. Lay it up and in.
Good job. Kept his hands above his shoulders the whole time. Didn't bring it down. A la Kevin McHale.
And Fritz certainly with his most impressive New Hampshire College appearance thus far.
Still working on the timing things, but he's getting more into it. He's really got himself in pretty good position. As I said, the last 4 or 5 times down the floor for the Penman, they've gotten the ball down where they wanted in that 8-foot radius of the basket.
4:56 to go in the opening half. We have a 20-second timeout on the court. First of 2 telecasts on CMUR this weekend as you look at Bruce Webster in the Bridgeport huddle. Tomorrow afternoon at 4, it'll be the Penman taking on one of their longtime traditional rivals in the NECC, the Pioneers of Sacred Heart University under longtime head coach Dave Bike.
It's not quite at the intensity that it once was. Kind of like, not quite. It hasn't sunk like the Sixers and the Celtics.
Or the Lakers and the Celtics.
Or the Lakers and the Celtics.
Yeah.
But it has, at one point, was just, it was totally electric when they came into this building because they were the guys, pretty much the place that New Hampshire College holds now around Division II in terms of the teams that you got. The Division II championship generally goes through this gym, or these guys are always in it. That was the case with Sacred Heart. Good job on the follow by Ranson.
And Bino!
Nobody boxed him out, I'm telling you. It's 2 baskets. Somebody's going to listen. Well, he listens to me. 2 baskets a game if you follow your shots, unless you make them all.
We're now tied at 26. Penman on a run right here.
I mean, people just don't box out anymore. So if you want to take it, and plus you get fouled generally on one of them. So if you want to raise your scoring average and you're a player by 5 points, just follow every shot. Guaranteed.
Again, Bridgeport looking to take lots of seconds off the clock. Driving layup down the lane.
Good job.
Goes in, but a charge called on Jamie Stewart.
Yeah, I don't like the way they changed that rule a little bit. But Tariq, how about this? Holds his footing. Look at him. He's playing team defense because he's watching his man and the ball. No way. He just stood in the area. Stewart really has got to avoid that contact there. But that was good team defense. Covered his man, sloughed in to help out, saw it coming, and was planted beforehand.
Shepard to Moncrief. Shawan down the lane. Around and good.
Shepard takes the best charges since Willie Scurry was here.
Penman now lead it by 2.
Now Scurry delivers the charges. He's a state trooper.
Jamie Stewart for the University of Bridgeport. Gives it off to Herdal Christie. Back now to Bailey. Bailey up off the glass and good. Bailey now with 13 in the opening half for the Purple
the guy
Knights.
who played point guards a couple of years ago. He went to New Haven first, and then what the heck was his name? That was a play they developed there. He was a terrific one-on-one player, and they'd isolate out front and give him that pick and the spread offense, and he'd score.
Now Shepard underneath on a nice pass from Moncrief. And the Penmen back on top by 2 with 3:20 to go in the opening half at the Fieldhouse. Now here's Stewart. Takes it off underneath. The layup is good by Herdal Christie. And a foul on New Hampshire College.
Good two-man game, defensive rotation. Scott Smith stepped up when Gazette was beat on the off the dribble right there, so Scott Smith had to stop the dribble, and the defense rotation didn't quite get there, and they fouled Christie.
Oh, Christie will go to the line in an attempt to convert the full-time three-point play.
They're being lulled to sleep just a bit out front. You watch the knees there. That time, that was just a quick little move. It was like they weren't expecting it. And he's too quick to do that. You got to be ready every second.
Christie gives Bridgeport a one-point lead. Timeout on the court. 3:16 to go in the opening half, and we'll have more basketball on CMUR right after these messages.
Put your business in hyperdrive with Gelt promotional products. No one designs more effective advertising than Gelt. From special events to corporate apparel, Gelt creates art that comes alive, art that gets noticed. Gelt puts out the best message on the best products, from fanny packs to jackets, mugs to magnets. Gelt products are worn all over the body, all over the world. Don't be an image wimp. Go with Nashua's Gelt Industries for all your promotional items, t-shirts, and advertising. Then, hang on.
Now get a complimentary season pass to the best skiing in New England when you buy or lease a new Jeep Grand Cherokee. Lease a Grand Cherokee Laredo with 0 down and just $359 a month.
Bridgeport leads it by 1 in the latter stages of the opening half. Ken Cale and Dave Long on CMUR. Bino Ranson for New Hampshire College to Matt Rapaldi. Back to Bino. Now Bino in the lane to Scotty Smith.
That was a nice catch on the pass in there by Smith, once again showing how good his hands are.
Penman by 1.
This slow-down offense, I mean, there's only 3 minutes to go here, will only work if they're within probably 8 to 10, particularly as the clock ticks away. They're not going to be able to do this, but pretty much it served them well, and they'll continue with it.
Now Stewart, scoop shot blocked by Moncrief, picked off by Bino.
I'll tell you something, though, he is quick. He just left Rapaldi with that crossover dribble.
Rapaldi for 3, has it blocked by Hastings underneath. Moncrief lays it up and in.
That's the first thing we've heard from Shawan pretty much the whole ball game.
Three-pointer missed by Bailey. Rebound Shepard. Outlet to Moncrief.
That's right. I like big guys. And even if your guy's got his hands on it, you take it away from him. Knock him over if you have to. It's his ball.
Now Moncrief for 3. In and out. And the rebound pulled down by Christie. Denman lead it by 3. Just under 2 minutes to go here at the Fieldhouse in the opening half. Jeff Bailey. That's Hastings with it. Out deep, Brendan Boyce. Boyce trying to move on Bino. Back out to Stewart. Now in the corner with it is Christie. Christie pulls up for the shot. No good. Rebound tipped by Moncrief, but stolen away by Hastings for the hoop. Now it's Bino. As the pass deflected, knocked away, stolen by Bridgeport, taken back by the Penman.
That was a careless pass. That was a good one.
Moncrief underneath.
That was a good no-look Larry Bird style pass.
Now Shawan coming to life. He has 6 points.
Yeah, that was the pass. That was a little kiss by Tariq.
3-point Penman lead.
All right, he knocked his own man over. I like that. He took a charge. I like that. Now a little kiss pass from a forward inside the paint. Inside passing's tough. 3 really good things so far.
Tariq is always involved. Maybe not on the score sheet, but he does those little things.
Plus, he talks a good game, too.
Albino Ranson for New Hampshire College. Penman leading by 3.
That was a good pulling guard move by Scott Smith.
Now Shawan has the shot rejected, but he'll go to the line.
I'll tell you what, though, he went right into the action. He says, all right, we need a foul here. I'm going to create it. Here he goes. He could have taken the jumper. He's better going in, and he just created the contact and picked up the foul and said, all right, after the contact, maybe I can get it up. But Boyce is a tough customer and put him back down.
He is. Brendan Boyce picking up his first foul, the 3rd on the Purple Knights in the opening half.
Although, believe it or not, coming into the ball game, how many blocks do you think he had coming into the ball game?
Boyce?
Yep.
Oh, I would say, judging by today's performance,
they've played 16 games so far.
I have to say he's well over 30.
1.
Wow. Well, he's exceeded that today.
He must have had broken arms or something because of the way he's playing today.
Scotty Smith.
And that is what you have to do with a shot blocker. Scott Smith, concerned about the quick block. He'd been kind of throwing it up there a little bit quick that time. Gathered himself, pump fake, got Boyce up in the air and then laid it over the rim.
Bailey misses the 3. Now Boyce is fouled underneath. Penman lead it by 6 with 19 seconds to go here in the opening half.
I was kidding about Boyce with those blocks, by the way. He's got 5, which isn't nearly that much.
Surprising, yeah. The way he's played this afternoon.
Absolutely. He's got 3 or 4 this afternoon, plus a couple of intimidations after the blocks.
Tariq Shepard picking up his first foul. Nick Karageorge back in. Tariq Shepard getting a nice hand as he goes to the bench. Fans appreciating good basketball here at the field house. And Tariq had a hoop, but more importantly made a very nice pass, and he is an involved kind of player.
Took a charge, couple of rebounds, threw his own guy down. That's my favorite part so far.
Boyce on the line. He has 3 points here in the opening half. Misses them both. Karageorge brought in, of course, for his 3-point prowess here at the latter stages of the half. Ball stolen away by Bridgeport, restolen by Ranson. Scotty Smith swings it to Rapaldi. Rapaldi lets it go and hits.
Bridgeport tried to press to surprise him.
And that's the end of the opening half here at the New Hampshire College Fieldhouse. The score, the Penman 41 and the Purple Knights of the University of Bridgeport 33. And we'll be back with our halftime festivities right after these messages.
Now get a complimentary season pass to the best skiing in New England when you buy or lease a new Jeep Grand Cherokee. Lease a Grand Cherokee Laredo with 0 down and just $359 a month.
Hey, let's talk about the VW Bug. A classic. A car ahead of its time. Now, there's been some nasty rumors floating around that a certain ski area has been stockpiling them. Good ones, junk ones, whatever. Well, let me tell you. I know our moguls at Waterville Valley are big, but we have not been burying VWs on any of our trails. I mean, this is the White Mountain National Forest. You think Ranger Rick's gonna let us bury cars? I don't think so.
Here's what critics are saying about Nashua's acclaimed Oriental restaurant, the Lilac Blossom. Now discover for yourself why the Lilac Blossom is such a refreshing dining experience. From affordable luncheon specials to tantalizing house specialties, the Lilac Blossom's attention to quality and professional staff will bring you back again and again. You'll also find an extensive choice of wines and the perfect facilities for your next function. So discover for yourself what critics already know, that the Lilac Blossom is Chinese cuisine at its finest.
Step back, please.
Any more metal, sir?
Get ready to ride at one of these New Hampshire Harley-Davidson dealers.
exceptional skiing, and snowboarding takes an exceptional commitment to quality. Only Gunstock has the Noon Groom, part of skiing's only morning, noon, and night grooming plan. Gunstock delivers conditions that help you ski better, look better, and have more fun day or night. Gunstock guarantees it.
Gunstock grooves for the skier in you.
For Andrew and Garrett. For Caitlin. For Eric. Children are an important part of our lives, and pediatric care is an important part of the Health Source Health Plan. For PJ. For Laura. And for Jamie. There are lots of reasons to choose the Health Source Health Plan. Yours is the one that counts.
Cabletron is a proud sponsor of New Hampshire Athletics. Cabletron, the best network we've ever built.
Now get a complimentary season pass to the best skiing in New England when you buy or lease a new Jeep Grand Cherokee. Lease a Grand Cherokee Laredo with 0 down and just $359 a month.
Penman lead it by 8, Dave, at the intermission following a very sluggish start to this one.
I think that was helped by the offensive strategy used by Bridgeport. They spread the floor, tried to take a lot of time off the clock, and it worked because they wound up getting a lot of easy baskets because the Penman had a tough time focusing. The ship kind of righted itself as some guys came off the bench. Penman have it pretty much in where they want it with an 8-point lead. They can't go to the spread. They really can't go to the spread if they're trailing as they go into the second half, especially if it's getting larger. So they're going to have to, play more of a regular up-and-down game, and that definitely is in New Hampshire College's favor.
Bridgeport, not a very deep ball club. Their roster has been depleted by some grade problems.
Well, it's kind of tough when your score is 3 through 6. Your first top guy off the bench and 3 of your top 5 scorers are lost to academics or problems academically. So Bruce Webster's got to go back into his bag of tricks, and that's why you're seeing the kind of strategy that they're employing. Generally, you don't see that kind of a thing. And so that's, that's what happens. Sometimes you see it in injury situations. Other times, in this case, they've got other problems. So, he's got to come up with some tricks.
Right now, let's go back to the studio for a WMUR-TV weather update.
This is a News 9 weather bulletin.
Hello, everyone. We do have a high wind warning in effect for the Granite State, and strong winds have already caused some damage out in New York State and Vermont. And actually, in Underhill, Vermont, a meteorologist spotter there reported a couple of trees uprooted by the wind, and also in the Catskills of New York, they've had trailers turned over and some roofs damaged from the wind. Let's take a look at the map right now, and this is what we have to look at between now and 6 p.m. We'll have some strong winds, especially over central New Hampshire and southern sections of the Granite State. 20 to 40 miles per hour with some higher gusts. And those higher gusts will really be felt in the north-south facing valleys, hills, and mountains will be very susceptible to the winds for this evening. So be careful if you're headed outside. Scattered power outages could occur from the high winds, so keep your flashlight at hand. And another warning is the flood watch for Springfield and Charlestown, New Hampshire. So we'll be watching that for you too. More details coming up later.
Ken Cale and Dave Long courtside at the New Hampshire College Fieldhouse as the Penmen go for their 9th win in 10 tries in New England Collegiate Conference play. Dave, you talked about staying focused. The Penmen with a little focus problem at the top of the game today, but getting things back on track, leading by 8 here at the intermission, 41-33.
Tell you, there's some guys that were focused. They want to get those hot dogs and get back in here and eat them.
That's it, yeah.
But,
halftime, 41-33. The Penmen leading the University of Bridgeport by 8 points, and we'll be back with more on CMUR right after these messages.
Attention Attention Northeast car buyers. If you have bad credit and need a car or a truck, you must listen to this official notice. For a limited time only, a $10 million auto credit line with 6 financial institutions is now available for bad credit customers only. You must have bad credit to apply for these funds. If you suffer from bankruptcy, repossession, or have slow or no credit, you cannot be turned down. Call now to reserve your credit line. Operators are standing by.
There is power in a dream, and every hour a dreamer is born. Just imagine the friends we made, the lives we touched, the glory days. 10 years of dreams, 10 years of dreams, 10 years of dreams come true.
Put your business in hyperdrive with Gelt promotional products. No one designs more effective advertising than Gelt. From special events to corporate apparel, Gelt creates art that comes alive, art that gets noticed. Gelt puts out the best message on the best products, from fanny packs to jackets, mugs to magnets. Gelt products are worn all over the body, all over the world. Don't be an image wimp. Go with Nashua's Gelt Industries for all your promotional items, T-shirts, and advertising. Then, hang on.
My kids love the supermarket, especially the cereal aisle. So while I'm shopping for the good stuff, they're not. And when I'm trying to get home to make dinner, it's nice to be able to take care of my grocery shopping and my banking all in one place. First & H Bank has a full-service branch office right in my supermarket. I like that. So if you're shopping for convenience, First & H has something in store for you. Now that's banking my way. Billy.
Cabletron is a proud sponsor of New Hampshire Athletics. Cabletron, the best network we've ever built.
For peace of mind. For the freedom to choose. For the most special reason of all. There are few relationships more important than the one between you and your doctor. And your doctor is probably already part of the Health Source Network. Because life is about relationships. Because you need to know. There are lots of reasons to choose the Health Source Health Plan. Yours is the one that counts.
Hey, Red Dog.
What?
Do you ever wonder why we're here?
Where?
You know, here. Why we exist?
No.
How come?
I got better things to think about.
But why are we the way we are? I mean, I'd give anything to be as big as you.
True. You ain't big, but you're real quick.
Quick? Yeah. I guess it all evens out then, huh?
Well, that might be pushing it. Red Dog.
Hey, Red Dog.
Yeah?
Full moon tomorrow night.
I'm there, buddy.
Back at the New Hampshire College Fieldhouse, Ken Cale along with Dave Long. Chip Pollock, the New Hampshire College Athletic Director, is our guest. And Chip, at this point of the season, we start thinking a little bit about the postseason, the second season, if you will. Right now in the New England Collegiate Conference, it appears to be pretty much a three-team battle.
Yeah, really. I mean, I think we did a little to cause that three-way logjam with beating Franklin Pierce on Wednesday night over at Pierce. So really, I mean, Lemoyne's a quality team. We split with Lemoyne. We have one game in hand versus Pierce. Pierce has beaten Lemoyne by 4 at their place, but they have to go back up to Syracuse to play Lemoyne. So you're right. I mean, I think we're in first place with just one loss now, but Pierce having one also. But you know, I think we're in pretty good shape.
Well, if you look at there's 6 teams that get picked in the region. Each of the 3 leagues that are in there get automatic berths.
Right.
So then there's 3 at-large bids. And you were talking about the point differentials. You know, if it comes down to Pierce, Lemoyne, New Hampshire College, what are going to be the factors? You know, obviously one team will go in as the automatic team. What will be the factors that will decide who gets in as an at-large?
Well,
maybe both get in as an at-large.
We have a number of factors that the NCAA tells us. We have a thing called the EPR, it's the effective play rating. It's really like the power rating at the Division I level. It's just, you know, you measure your home wins and losses, and it's not really that complicated, but it's a formula. We also look at, right now they're 9-0 at home, but they're like 4-3 on the road. So that, you know, we look at if there's an inordinate number of home wins versus away wins. You know, we also look at record versus teams over 500 in your region. So, you know, we don't really look at one more than the other one. And even though I said point differentials, we don't really look at points.
You take into account the fact that the trip out to Lemoyne is like this team's equivalent of the NBA West Coast trip out there. Very tough place to play, so that's a big advantage for them. But conversely, they have the big disadvantage of the weekend trips to come out come to this part of New England.
Right. I was talking to Bruce Webster before the game, and he said it's just something about Lemoyne. You go in there, and it's not that the referees make calls against you. It's just you feel you're not going to win for whatever reason. Maybe it's a trip. You know, maybe it's the Syracuse air. I don't know. You know, but you know, he happened to mention it. You just don't feel like you're going to win when you walk in there.
All right, Chip, we thank you very much. Penman lead it by 8 here at the intermission. We'll be back with halftime highlights and statistics right after these messages.
Step back, please.
Any more medals, sir?
Get ready to ride at one of these New Hampshire Harley-Davidson dealers.
They say you should always have the right tool for the right job. Now, this is especially true when it comes to the shovel. If you're up at Waterville Valley, you want the heavy-duty snow shovel. They just beefed up their snowmaking by 25%. So we're talking blizzard conditions on a daily basis. And the heavy-duty shovel also comes in pretty handy when some of those other ski areas start telling you how much snow they have. It gets pretty deep.
Penman 8. Penman lead it by 8 at the intermission. Let's take an opportunity now for some first half highlights, Dave.
Well, as we said, Penman, they had trouble getting the ball inside. Will Michael really made his presence felt. Here's a nice turn-in bucket. I said he ran away from the defenders a little bit. You want him going at the basket, but he showed the nice touch there. Here's the quickness advantage against the man-to-man. Stewart just gets inside, but there's the good defense from the back line by Shepard to take the charge. As I said, Stewart split that trap split the D right there. Once again, he gets inside. Here is the help off the nice dish to Christie, but there were 2 white shirts there. Christie does a nice job of just taking it into the basket, and that was an idea of 2 good plays. Nice little push-off with the left arm by Scott Smith, and the pump fake to let the defense go by off the nice pass. And here, once again, the defense really righted itself. How about that? 2 passes. That one is my second favorite play by Tariq. The first, of course, is when he threw off Rapaldi when they both went for the rebound. But he had a really big impact on the game in the first half, I thought.
And the first half stats.
Well, you know, pretty even game. You look at all these stats, but the Penmen have the advantage in every one. And just a couple more shots they've taken. They've made just a couple more. 3-pointers, they've got the big advantage there. Bridgeport, their only advantage really was in free throws, but they didn't really do a good job shooting free throws. They've got 9-7 rebounds. I'm not sure if that's a correct total. I think it is 28 rebounds. There's a big edge for the Penmen. That's an Achilles heel for Bridgeport. So Penmen have, everything's pretty close, but they've got the advantage in each one of those things, and that's why they've got the lead. There's your leading scorers, pretty balanced by the Penmen. Bailey is the guy who started out early. Made some big 3-point plays. They took advantage of his quickness. He and Stewart worked very well. Stewart using the quickness. He'd penetrate, get into the seam. Defense would have to collapse and help him out, or help out to stop him on the drive, and he dished to that 3-point area, and Bailey converted. That's been the most successful part of the game, plus the shot blocking on the part of Bridgeport down low. That's their 2 best parts of the ball game.
Second half just underway at the New Hampshire College Fieldhouse. Vino Ranson for the Penmen. New Hampshire College leads it by 8. Matt Rapaldi for 3.
And that, my friends, is a set play. How many times do I say, when a team comes out of a timeout or halftime and they get a good shot, that's generally the sign of a well-coached team.
Now rebound underneath by Boyce, no good. Comes up short. Scotty Smith the rebound.
One bad box out. Blackwell did not pick up the guy. Scott Smith on the follow-up did.
Now a pass knocked away by Boyce. And it's Stewart. Down the lane for Bridgeport. Short follow by Boyce is good.
Good job by Boyce to follow it up. A lot of big guys don't, they think it's going to be a layup. It's going to be made. They pull up. He fouled it down and picked up the garbage.
Penman by 9. Moncrief driving baseline, lay it up around, no good. Rebound tip back out to Rapaldi.
That was a good job by Blackwell to keep it alive. Couldn't get the rebound, so he just smacked it outside to a teammate. That's all he could do. Heady.
Now Rapaldi back to Bino Ranson. Ranson for 3.
Yeah,
no good.
Miss Blackwell wide open in the 3 on the weak side.
Rebound tip by Smith, and Blackwell can't keep it in bounds. And Bridgeport will take over.
Ray 2 for 2 on those threes early in the game, and he picked up a couple of fouls. Didn't see him play too much in the last 10 minutes, but he did have the stroke going.
Speaking of fouls, Bridgeport picked up only 3 in the opening half, and they have to stay out of foul trouble. There's a 3-point shot by Stewart, no good. Rapaldi with the uncontested rebound.
I don't think I ever had less than 3 going into the second half as an individual player.
Now Scotty Smith on the block. Turnaround jump hook, no good. Rebound by Boyce, and he throws it away. Now Bridgeport, as we mentioned, having problems academically with 4 out of their top 6 scorers sidelined by academic problems, so they're not very deep. In fact, I believe they only went with the 5 players in the opening half.
I would say you're right.
There's a shot by Blackwell, no good. Rebound by Boyce. Ahead to Stewart. Bailey has it knocked away by Bino Ranson, picked up by Rapaldi. Now Bino. Foul by Bridgeport. 18-11 to go here in the second half. Penman lead it by 9. Jamie Stewart picks up his second foul for the Purple Knights. So Bino will go to the line and shoot 2. Bino with 7 points in the opening half. As usual, a balanced attack for New Hampshire College. Bino now with 8 points on the afternoon. Matt Rapaldi leading the way right now with 11, including 3 3-pointers.
Trick for the Penmen is to see if they can continue or keep the lead where it is, maybe stretch it out a little bit, not allow Bridgeport to get back into the spread offense where they had some success.
Swinging around to Christie.
Penman got a little bit more focus there defensively, though. It didn't bother him as much in the last 7 minutes, and that's one of the reasons the lead went from a trailing by about 7 to about an 8-point lead.
Now Stewart with it for Bridgeport. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Now Stewart driving. Now 3-point shot taken by Jeff Bailey.
That's the play that hurt him. Penman also changed the defense. They went to that matchup zone. They were in it that time. Moncrief came over from the corner to try and shut down Stewart, who had penetrated the seam, and that left Bailey wide open.
Moncrief with the rebound of the Rapaldi miss. Moncrief laid up no good. Battle for the rebound. Boyce comes away with it.
Penman have got to do a better job of shutting down the seam, not letting Stewart get through, because that's where he gets the dish. That's just a breakdown mentally right there.
Now rebound by Hastings for Bridgeport.
That guy's killing him with wide open shot, or from shooting from 3-point land. How can nobody pick up on him, the guy on that side? That's just a mental breakdown.
Penman by 6. Blackwell swings it around to Bino Ranson. Back up top to Blackwell. To Rapaldi. At Rapaldi. Now underneath, Scotty Smith has it knocked away, recovers, loses it. And we're getting a foul called on Bridgeport.
That's why coaches yell at big men not to put the ball down when they're in the paint, because some little guy's going to put his hands in there and disrupt your ability to go to the basket. I think that might be the reason.
Jamie Stewart picking up his 3rd personal foul, number 2 on Bridgeport.
I also think Scott Smith was totally surprised to be that open. And his face, it was like almost, hey, what's going on? And so it took him a second to react rather than just go up.
And misses the first one badly.
And I'm totally surprised that he missed it. Wow. That was a bad air ball. That's the worst air ball I've seen in a free throw in a long time.
Smith misses them both. And the ball goes out of bounds.
My favorite was when the Fridge was playing here. When he'd get an air ball on the first one, he'd come up short, and then he'd bank in the second one.
Foul on Ray Blackwell of the Penman, his 3rd, first on New Hampshire College here in the second half.
Of course, when you shoot 70% from the field, get 15 rebounds a game, dominate inside, and foul 3 guys out, if you're going to have one aspect of your game missing, that might be the spot. He was a terrific player.
Now Jeff Bailey gives it off to Jamie Stewart for Bridgeport.
Oh, nice move.
Boyce with the basket and the foul on New Hampshire College.
Didn't expect that move. I didn't think he had that in the old bag of tricks. That was a crossover dribble. Looks like he's going to the baseline. Smith goes for the steal, and he just goes, by him! Takes the hit. Gee, what a surprise. Shepard, the guy on the hit, going for it. Good job by Boyce.
Number 2 on Tariq Shepard, Brendan Boyce, 6'5" sophomore out of New York City, Martin Luther King High School. Boyce will attempt to complete the three-point play. He has 7 in the ball game. Bridgeport going with starting 5 throughout this one. And Boyce converts. And it's down to a 3-point New Hampshire College lead. Full court pressure applied now by Bridgeport. They get it ahead to Rapaldi.
Hey, that's the pass they want.
Rapaldi with a high bounce off the rim, and it goes in.
I think that was payback for the fact that he got a 4-0 last semester, and that's the payback, because that was living right to get that one to drop.
Now Boyce on the follow, no good. Rebound loose in the lane. Hastings comes up with it. And Hastings.
Somebody can't count to 3 there, I got to tell you that.
Yeah, he was in the lane for a long time, but Bridgeport quickly calls a timeout here.
It takes you 3 seconds to get a timeout. That was a timeout, 3 seconds.
Timeout on the court. More basketball on CMUR right after these messages.
Get a complimentary season pass to the best skiing in New England when you buy or lease a new Jeep Grand Cherokee. Lease a Grand Cherokee Laredo with 0 down and just $359 a month.
Back to action at the Fieldhouse following the 22nd timeout. Bridgeport with the basketball, trailing by 5. With it is Bailey. Now Bailey trying to put a move on Shepard. Now Boyce has it. Back to Stewart. Around to Bailey. Bailey with 16 to lead the Purple Knights this afternoon.
See, there's a better job of defense. They just shut down the lane, prevented the penetration, so they had to kick it back out rather to the shooting spot.
Hastings' shot came up short, pulled down by the Penman. Bino, a long 3 is short, rebound underneath, loose, picked up by Stewart of Bridgeport.
I could have told you before he got the rebound he was going to take that shot. You could just see it in his eyes.
Bailey for 3.
I'm telling you, somebody has got to wake up and get out there. He is hurting them.
And now a traveling call. And it's a 2-point ball game with 15:04 to go in the second half. We have a timeout on the court. Penman have seen their 8-point halftime lead reduced to 2, and we'll have more on CMUR right after this timeout.
Let Gunstock add sparkle to your nightlife. You'll love the fun, adventure, and economy of night skiing. New Hampshire's biggest night skiing mountain, Gunstock offers 13 trails served by 5 lifts and a new terrain park for skiers and riders. And it's open Tuesday through Saturday from 4 to 10 p.m. Bring a friend and go Gunstock for the fun of it.
Gunstock cruise for the skier and you.
Here's what critics are saying about Nashua's acclaimed Oriental restaurant, the Lilac Blossom. Now discover for yourself why the Lilac Blossom is such a refreshing dining experience. From affordable luncheon specials to tantalizing house specialties, the Lilac Blossom's attention to quality and professional staff will bring you back again and again. You'll also find an extensive choice of wines and the perfect facilities for your next function. So discover for yourself what critics already know, that the Lilac Blossom is Chinese cuisine at its finest.
Back at the Fieldhouse, and Dave, you have to give the Purple Knights credit. They keep hanging around.
Yeah, they've done a nice job. Once again, somewhere along the line, if these guys are playing 5 guys for the whole game, I would think that they would get tired, or it might be a good idea to put on some kind of a press just to pick up the pace, even if they just play even, because you got a chance to wear these guys out. That's another reason, Ken, that they went to that spread offense, conserve energy.
Stewart with it. To Boyce, who has been impressive here this afternoon. Bailey leads the way with 19 points. He has the ball right now for Bridgeport, including 2 3-pointers in this half.
That's good D on the baseline by Ray Blackwell off the switch, shut down the baseline.
Now Bailey's shot is no good. Rapaldi with the rebound.
But he wandered. He fouled the ball with his eyes, and that's why Bailey was open in the corner. I think you got to shade him even more because he's the guy who's really hurting them.
Now Blackwell with it for New Hampshire College. Back to Tariq Shepard. Blackwell driving baseline. Now Blackwell to Fritz Michael. He loses the ball, and it goes out of bounds, but last touched by Bridgeport. 14-13 to go, second half. Penman lead it by 2.
Tell you what, if the bus driver's driving the bus, don't let Fritz drive it because he's still a bit out of control. Doing better things, looking better than he has the first couple of games. Had a tough stretch. He was sick before he got here, so he had a long way to go. Had to get in shape, learn the offense.
Tariq Shepard with the hoop for the Penman.
I've seen more jump hooks today than I've seen in quite some time. Scott Smith, Fritz Michael, and now Tariq.
Penman lead it by 4. Jamie Stewart with it for Bridgeport. Gives it off to Jeff Bailey.
Interesting matchup. Shepard on Bailey.
Now Hastings going on Ranson. Hastings puts it up and hits.
That's a big-time move because the defense was there. The help was there. And he just pulled up, used a little left forearm to create a little space, and then hit the shot going to the basket, which I think I say every game is the hardest shot in basketball. Along the baseline, running at it from 6 feet.
Blackwell misses the tray. Shepard with the rebound. But Bridgeport controls. Hastings ahead to Stewart.
Oh, man. Did he go after that
ball
or what? Only thing is, his feet were about 8 feet behind him when he reached for that thing.
And we are tied at 50. Now Blackwell on the block to Michael underneath. Reverse by Michael is good, and he was fouled.
Wow, nice move. Great pass by Blackwell, too. On the exchange, he came from the block to the sideline and then dropped the pass down, and Michael reversed hands. Everybody thought it was going up with the right. He said, well, let's switch. Watch this. There's the pass. Watch, the ball's in his right hand. Everybody thinks he's going up right, and then they go to block it, and then he flicks it with the left. That's a pretty move. Another big-time move.
Hastings draws his second foul. Michael converts the old-fashioned three-point play, and Fritz Michael now with 7 points in the ball game.
That's quickness, too.
Penman by 3. Underneath, the shot rejected by Shepard, but a foul on Shepard. And Tariq picks up number 3.
He does not allow any easy ones, does he?
No, he does not.
Look at this. Nice pass by Stewart. And Christie thinks he's got it right there, but boom, he says, all right, you can have the free throws. You got to earn it if you're going to get 2 on me.
Erdal Christie on the line for the University of Bridgeport.
And it's not exactly like he's running over a kick returner right there. Christie is a big boy. Strong arms, as you can see.
Christie 6'4", 215 out of Weaver High School in Hartford, Connecticut.
If he's 215, I'm 112. There is no way he is 215.
He is solid as a rock, isn't he?
And big. It's not like he's lean like Michael. You know, I might buy that Michael's 215, you know, at 6'6". He's lean. This guy's built like Hinsey Watt, who played for New Haven several years ago.
Now Rob Welch.
Close to a walk.
Blackwell with it, bottled up. His pass is tipped away and stolen by Jeff Bailey of Bridgeport.
When you go to the basketball dictionary and look up worst pass in history, that might be there. It's cross-court falling away through 3 guys.
Bridgeport can take the lead on this possession. They trail by 8 at the intermission.
This would be at the double team right there. Good job by Blackwell.
Now Bailey thinks about a 3. Bailey foul line. Now Boyce lets it go baseline. It's long. Rebound pulled down by Shepard.
That was a very good series. Nice double team on the baseline. They did not go for any jump fakes. Tariq Shepard helped out and stayed home when Bailey wanted to take the shot, and they got the rebound, boxed everybody. That's the best defensive sequence of the game.
Now Welch back out to Blackwell for 3.
Good shot. Just doesn't go down.
Jeff Bailey quickly ahead for Bridgeport. Nearly loses it, picks it back up. Now down low to Boyce. Boyce in the lane, has it rejected by Michael. The ball is kicked, and diving for it, and coming up with it is Blackwell to Rapaldi for the layup.
And I like the fact that he didn't pass it to Shepard, because he's the guy who'll get the dunk, because Rapaldi was closer. Forget the mustard. put the basket in. It's too important. That was a good play.
15 for Rapaldi, and the Penmen lead it by 3 points. It's 55-52.
And the way too many people played today, they would have given him for the dunk.
Bailey tried to tie it up, couldn't do it. Fritz Michael loses the rebound, out of bounds. 11:06 to go in the second half. The Penmen lead it by 3. Timeout on the court, and we'll have more basketball straight ahead on CMUR.
I started my week in Nashville, traveled all over the North Country yesterday, and tomorrow I have calls in Dover. Wherever I go, I can always count on First NH Bank. There are branch offices all over the state. Plus, I can get cash anytime. And as a customer, I never have to pay any fees for using a First NH ATM. Wherever I am, First NH is there. That's not just convenience. That's banking my way. By the way, where am I?
Attention Northeast car buyers. If you have bad credit and need a car or a truck, you must listen to this official notice. For a limited time only, a $10 million auto credit line with 6 financial institutions is now available for bad credit customers only. You must have bad credit to apply for these funds. If you suffer from bankruptcy, repossession, or have slow or no credit, you cannot be turned down. Call now to reserve your credit line. Operators are standing by.
Bridgeport to inbound, trailing by 3 points here at the Fieldhouse. First of 2 games this weekend on CMUR. Don't forget to join us tomorrow at 4 when the Penmen take on Sacred Heart University.
Let's see what kind of shot Bridgeport gets coming out of the timeout. You would think that they'd want to come away with maybe something on the weak side to Bailey, get him a good look at the basket, or perhaps something to Christie on some sort of an exchange so he gets it close underneath.
Bailey to put the ball in play for Bridgeport, gets it out deep to Stewart.
Pretty good job of defense. They shut down the 2 options.
Just under 11 minutes to play in the second half. Penmen lead it by 3. Their lead was 8 at the intermission. Stewart dishes back out to Bailey.
Good job by Rob Welsh. There's a definite quickness advantage, but he's playing his body, taking away the right-hand side, saying, beat me to the left if you want.
Now Boyce underneath to Christie for the hoop. And again, we have a 1-point basketball game. Rob Welsh into the forecourt for New Hampshire College to Nick Karageorge.
Shawan has been quiet today, except for a couple of quick flurries. End of the first half, beginning of the second half.
Welch thought about a 3, now inside the 3-point line, throws up an air ball. Shepard tried to save it in on the baseline, couldn't do it.
When there's indecision on a shot that a guy should take, then he puts it down and takes the shot. I mean, it's like a prayer. I mean, it's total luck if they hit the rim. Indecision kills you as a shooter. You got to just take it.
Bridgeport again with the opportunity to take the lead here at the Fieldhouse. And again, Bridgeport will take as many ticks off the shot clock as they can.
Good help by Shawan. Wells cut off by the pick. Shawan jumped over to shut down the drive.
Now Bailey finds the handle. Now 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Now Bailey. There's the driving shot down the baseline by Christie. No good, but the rebound by Boyce.
I tell you, and he didn't have position inside. Good job on the box out. He just went above the crowd to tip it to himself.
Hastings for the University of Bridgeport. Up top to Christie. Now to Boyce. Boyce underneath for the layup. He was triple teamed, but got the shot off and gives Bridgeport the lead.
Weak side help was there by Welsh. He just fought his way through the crowd.
Now Scotty Smith to Moncrief driving. Moncrief to Smith in the lane.
They made it harder than it had to be. Smith should have shot it the first time.
Penman back up by 1 in this seesaw battle. As we approach the 9-minute mark here in the second half.
I would think the Penmen want to find a way to pick up the pace. They have more people on the bench. They want to make Bridgeport tired.
Penman with more than they bargained for this afternoon from the Purple Knights. Stewart hits the shot and gives the Purple Knights the lead.
Penetration and dish once again. Quickness out front. They did a pretty good job covering it.
Moncrief stripped away. Kara George underneath, no good. Shepard battling for the rebound. Out of bounds off Shepard.
Once again, a guy down there getting the rebound, not too familiar with how to put it back up. And believe me, there's an art, because number one, when you get it there and you're a guard, you think people are going to block it. So either you got to be really quick to get it before anybody can get off their feet, or you got to do the pump fake.
Bridgeport with the lead and the basketball.
But you have to do it with composure. I think Nick got it, just threw it up there because he was concerned about the block shot.
8:20 to go in the ball game. On the wing, it's Boyce. Now Christie pulls up for the shot. No good. Rebound, Kara George. Rob Welsh quickly ahead, but it's knocked out of bounds by Stewart on a nice defensive play.
You know, I will say this. I said that maybe it might be a good idea to go to some kind of a press. The lineup that's on the floor right now is not a pressing lineup. Well, Welsh is going out of the ball game with Kara George's and Welsh in the ball game. Not a lot of quickness there to be able to press.
Vino Ranson for the Penman. New Hampshire College trails it by 1.
Bridgeport sticking it in that zone. So it's a box and one, actually.
Smith to Shepard for the layup.
Good weak side pass.
And the Penman back up by 1.
Playing a box and one on Ranson. See, that's the one area where a box and one really doesn't disturb an offense, because the point guard used to having the ball all the time anyway.
Stewart's pass deflected.
Sorry, Ken. When you have the ball, you know, you always have a guy covering you anyway. It's when you're off the ball and overplayed in the box and one where it disrupts the offense.
Penman lead it by 1. We'll have more basketball on CMUR right after these messages.
There is power in a dream, and every hour a dreamer is born. Just imagine the friends we made, the lives we touched, the glory days. 10 years of dreams. 10 years of dreams. 10 years of dreams come true.
Penman lead it by 1 here at the Fieldhouse, Dave, but it's been a tough and grinding afternoon for New Hampshire College.
You know, that's not a real surprise when you play Bridgeport. Let's give Bridgeport credit. As we said, 4 guys ineligible to play today and for the rest of the season, I believe. So that wiped out 4 of their top 6 players, or top 7 players. Actually, 4 of their top 9 players. So they got the 5 best left, and they are playing them. No substitutions in this ball game. And they have done a good job. Looked like they were going to fall out of it, too, when they were down by 9.
Bailey for 3. Comes up short. Rebound by Boyce underneath. And Boyce is fouled.
Penman getting hurt on the boards has been an Achilles heel all season. Not, you know, a couple of the big losses they've had, or the losses that they've had, they have been out-rebounded fairly significantly. And they have a negative, their teams that they've played, their opponents have out-rebounded them on average throughout the course of the season. So when they start getting out-rebounded in this segment of a game, it's a point of concern for the coaching staff.
Moncrief picked up his first personal foul, the 4th on New Hampshire College here in the second half.
And that is one of the reasons that Bridgeport was able to creep back in the ball game. Christie and Boyce in particular have gotten their share of offensive rebounds, created second shot opportunities, and put those together with the threes that they've been making, particularly Bailey. That's what's allowed Bridgeport to hang around.
There's Bailey, no good. A rebound by Smith.
And they've got some odd banks off the rim. That one hit the front of the rim and bounced straight away.
Vino!
What a pass.
To Moncrief.
A little bit of luck, though, because he's up in the air. He didn't know what to do, or he didn't have many options, and he's got the presence of mind and the quick drop down, but that has hurt him as much as it helped him in stages during the course of the season.
Penman lead it by 3. Stewart with the ball for Bridgeport.
The experienced point guard gets the guys off the feet without having to leave his feet. does it with his eyes, does it with fakes, and does it with the threat of his quickness. So he'll learn that, and he'll learn to stay home, and has of late done a little bit better job of that.
Bailey forced one up, no good, but the rebound comes back out to Stewart.
Notice Shepard's playing a lot more than Blackwell in this ball game.
Exactly 6 minutes left in this one. The Penmen lead it by 3. Now in the lane, the shot is good by Christie.
Entry pass just much too easy. Hands down to side. Penman looked tired on that one. That just, I mean, that was almost a handoff. You got to get your hands up above your, parallel with your shoulders, and make your wingspan 8 feet to disallow those passes and make it tough to get him inside.
Vino Ranson up top to Tariq Shepard, swings it around to Rapaldi. Now Rapaldi. Now the shot is blocked by Stewart. Foul on Stewart.
He can't be serious if he doesn't think he fouled him on that one.
Stewart picking up his 4th personal foul.
Oh, maybe that's why he's doing it, because he definitely got a piece of him. Watch this. Stewart comes in. Range is a long way. Good effort on the part of Stewart. And actually, he got him on the arm, and Ransom threw out the leg to make it look even better.
So Bino will go to the line and shoot 3.
That was a good effort by Stewart. He was at the top of the key and probably took about 3 steps to get back in there as Bino got ready to take the shot.
Bino, now 3 out of 3 from the line today. He has 10 points in the ball game. Penmen lead it now by 3.
See, that's one of the rule changes changed against tradition that I actually like. I think that was long overdue to give the guy 3 shots on fouls in 3-point territory. Is that the rule in the NBA yet? They finally changed it?
Oh, yeah.
But they didn't. They didn't for a long time.
4-point lead now for the Penmen after Bino made 3. And we have a whistle and a foul called against New Hampshire College.
Ticky-tack.
Second foul on Bino Ranson, number 5 on the Penmen here in the second half.
Okay, once again, watch where they get the ball. Do they get the shot coming out?
Hastings for Bridgeport. On the block to Christie, triple teamed, gets it back out to Bailey.
Weak side help by Blackwell, shut that off. Otherwise, he just walks in for the layup. Scott Smith had committed and gone for the pass.
Now Stewart slicing down, hands it off to Boyce, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by Bridgeport.
Another good job, weak side help, this time by Moncrief. Scott Smith went out to shut down the drive. Christie was open. Shawan came from that left-hand side or far side of the court.
Now New Hampshire College has taken a timeout with 4:49 to go in the second half. Penman leading by 4. We'll be back with more on Penman.
Bridgeport switched to the man-to-man on D. Actually, it's more of a matchup. No, it's a man-to-man, sorry.
Bino. Bino cross-court pass to Blackwell for 3.
Good job by Ray. Took his time, didn't rush it, had all day. Made it count.
Penman now lead it by 7, the 3rd tray for Blackwell today. Around and out on the shot by Stewart. Rebound by Blackwell. Ahead to Bino. Exactly 4 minutes to go on this one.
I'll actually change my call on the defense. It's a box. It's back to the box and 1. I've had 4. I do a great job on the sideline, recognizing defense.
Ray Blackwell. Shawan Moncrief for the Penmen. Now Blackwell for 3. In and out. Rebound Moncrief.
Smart play by Shawan. Instead of taking up the big guy, brings it back out, takes time off the clock.
Moncrief going on Christie. Now Moncrief.
I don't think Bridgeport's got the luxury to be able to sit back on defense like this.
15 seconds left on the shot clock. Bino comes right side in front of his own bench. Now the pass knocked away and stolen. Here comes Hastings. Hastings now with 11 points for the Purple Knights.
Yeah, they finally figured out that play. That's the Penman Celtic play where they set the double pick at the top of the screen. Stewart finally remembered, or remembered at that time, and stepped into the passing lane.
Now it's Bailey all alone following the turnover. And Bailey now with 21 points in the ball game, and it's only a 3-point lead for the Penmen.
Careless passing.
2:45 left in the second half. Bino Ranson for New Hampshire College.
I think the Penmen should not be concerned as much about taking time off the clock and just run their offense. That's what's got them here. That's what got them the lead.
Bino forces up a three. Not a good shot. Now Bridgeport bringing that ball up with 2:20 to go, and the Purple Knights trail it by only 3.
Watch the penetration and dish. Look for Bailey. Ray Blackwell has got to keep his eye, or the guy in the corner, if it's Moncrief or Blackwell, must keep their eye on Bailey and be able to get there if the dish comes off the penetration.
It's Bailey for the Purple Knights. Just under 2 minutes left in this one. He forces up a three and hits.
And I'll tell you, Scott Smith did the job jumping out on the pick.
We are tied at 67 with 1:49 to go. Blackwell to Moncrief. Now Moncrief puts it up. The shot is rejected by Christie. Ball loose on the baseline. It goes out of bounds.
Oh, man, that's
Last
a bad
touch by
call.
the Penmen.
That is a bad call.
We have a timeout on the court with 1:39 to go in the second half. We are tied at 67. More action coming up on CMUR right after this.
There is power in a dream, and every hour a dreamer is born. Just imagine the friends we made, the lives we touched.
We need a good overtime game. We got plenty of time till the 6 o'clock news. Again, watch the dish. Penetration and dish. Look for Bailey to take the three.
That's Bailey with the basketball for Bridgeport with 1:17 to go in regulation time. We're tied at 67.
Penman sticking with the matchup zone. I'd not be too concerned about the double team by Blackwell.
Christie, the follow of his own shot is good, and Bridgeport leads it by 2.
He just cleared everybody out. They got to go to Scott Smith. He hasn't had a particularly big game, but they need it down low.
Just under a minute to go. Blackwell thinking about the three. To Moncrief. Juwan Moncrief for the Penmen. To Ray Blackwell. Now Blackwell in the lane. Puts up the shot around. No good. And the rebound, Christie. And Christie is fouled by Bino Ranson.
Got the shot they wanted. Ray got inside, did a nice job on the seam. Look at that. He goes up, just can't put it down. And look at this rebound. Loud by Christie.
Christie has come on strong here in the second half.
And I don't think too many guys are going to win that battle with Christie for the ball when he's got his body and all that leverage that goes along with that 215-pound body.
40 seconds left in regulation time. Bridgeport leading it by 2. As we take a look at the schedule for the New Hampshire College Penmen, including tomorrow afternoon at 4, when the Penmen are back home against the Pioneers of Sacred Heart University, 4 o'clock right here on CMUR.
You know, the thing is, that wasn't even a shooting foul situation. You got 40 seconds to go, all the time in the world in a ball game, particularly where you can make some fouls. Penman next foul puts Bridgeport into the free throw situation, and to their advantage, Penman have 3 more fouls where Bridgeport will be shooting 1-on-1 and not taking 2. So with 40 seconds to go, they still got a chance on the miss. I think Stanley's probably going to try and get him to take the shot. I don't think he's going to foul. Problem is, if he makes the bucket, then it's a 4-point game or a 5-point game. Then he needs 2 possessions. So it's kind of a risk not putting him on the line in a situation. If you want to try and go 2 for 1, or you want to create maybe a 2 for 2 possession, because I think he's going to need 2 possessions in this ball game, which means Bridgeport takes 2 possessions, which means let's put them on the line and see how they do there at some point. But that generally, Stanley doesn't do that, so we'll have to keep an eye on that, of course.
Herdal Christie to inbound for Bridgeport. 40 seconds left in this one.
64% foul shooter as a team, Bridgeport is.
Timeout on the court as Bridgeport could not inbound the ball. We'll take a timeout. Bridgeport leads it by 2. More on CMUR right after these messages.
Attention Northeast.
Boyce and Hastings are at 50. So those are the guys I go after.
And now, before the ball is inbounded, we have a foul called against New Hampshire College.
That's not what you want to do because Bridgeport gets the ball back, I believe. That's a T. Dead ball foul. That one hurts.
And that was foul number 4 on Bino Ransom.
Now they're going to have to start fouling. They're going to send Stewart, who's under 70, as a shooter to the line. Well, actually, it's not. It's the dead ball. He'll get 2, I believe. But Penman will get the ball back, so it's not as damaging as it could have been.
Oh, Jamie Stewart on the line. He's 1 out of 2 from the charity stripe this afternoon.
See, it is 1-on-1. See, I got a total grasp of the rules here.
1-on-1 situation. The front end is around and no good. Rebound loose and recovered by Blackwell.
Yeah, refs let the boys play. Smith took a good hit there, but they were going after the ball.
Now Bino forces one up around and good!
Terrible shot. Took it too soon, too. Well, now they got to go 1 for 1. They got to play the D here. See if they play man-to-man or if they stick with the matchup zone.
We're tied at 69 with 15 seconds to go.
Looks like the man-to-man. I think they got the good matchup out front. Moncrief's the best defender and the quickest guy out there.
It's Bailey going 1-on-1 on Moncrief. Bailey throws it up, no good. Rebound tipped out, controlled by Hastings. Now a bomb by Stewart, no good. And we go to overtime. Wow. Well, they finished with a flourish in regulation.
Prayers were answered on the part of Ranson. That was of course, you know, you get in situations when you go up in the air. That's to his credit. His feet were already down by the team room, out of bounds on this side of the court, and somehow he kept his eye on the basket and put it in there. It was a force, clearly a force, but sometimes there are guys who can make big plays in force situations. He's one of them. Look at this. Feet way out of the way. His back is parallel to the ground. Somehow he puts it in. What a play.
Roll. Unbelievable shot.
That's the definition. When people are looking for players, guys, they say guys who make plays, stars make plays. That was just a play. You know, it wasn't like he was open and he made a shot. He took everybody on and went into the basket. That's the second time in games we've seen where he's done that, made the big play. Here's another view. Look at his feet way out of the way, and look at his eyes right on the basket the whole time. When he's going down, he never lost concentration. Laying on the ground, he's watching it go through.
For those people just tuning in, we have to point out the unbelievable display of stamina that Bridgeport has shown today. They've gone with 5 men for the first 40 minutes of this one, and will enter overtime with the same cast of 5.
I don't know who's got fouls for them. Bridgeport's probably got like 8 fouls in the course of the game. Stewart has 4. Might I try to isolate him down, although they're playing his zone? It's hard to do that. But I'll tell you what, if I'm open to the open floor, like a 2-on-1, I'm going after him, trying to pick up the foul if I can.
Overtime just about to get underway here at the Fieldhouse. And the tip controlled by Bridgeport.
Smith jumped too soon.
Fans starting to make some noise here at the Fieldhouse.
Coming in the man-to-man. They're playing man up on defense. Overplay. They're not going to get beat by the penetration dish 3-pointers this time, or at least that's the strategy.
Now Bailey back to Stewart. Now Stewart with the drive blocked by Smith. And we have a foul called.
It's a good call, I think. Christie was in there, does a nice job. Look at the quickness again by Stewart. Look at Christie following up. Are they going to get him on the wrist? Yes, Scott Smith.
So it'll be a 1-on-1 situation here.
First foul on Scott Smith. Did I hear that right?
That is true.
I hope he doesn't faint. Although he's done a better job in the last our last few games. In the last few games I've seen him play, keeping away from foul trouble and not doing it early.
Christie makes the front end of the 1-on-1. He now has 16 points in the ball game. Herdal Christie. Bridgeport up by 1. And that's the way it stays.
Good box by Ranson. Took the shooter.
Here's Bino into the forecourt.
Made a good shot.
Blackwell back out to Bino. Bino for 3!
I guess the textbook description of a good shot is one that goes in at this stage of the game. He's feeling it, baby, as they say. Big shot.
Penman by 2.
They played in overtime last year, as you remember. Penman got like 19 in a row. I love those overtime games where the team wins by 13 like they did last year.
Three-point shot missed by Bailey. Smith with the rebound.
Nobody for Bridgeport went for the ball and the rebound. They backed away. Maybe the big guys are getting tired.
Now Moncrief. Back to Bino. Bino with a long bomb. Short. Moncrief tips the rebound, but it's controlled by Stewart. Stewart drives, lays it up and in.
Good job by Stewart. Wasn't sure what Blackwell was going to do because Ray was going down there. Didn't know if Ray was going to be able to get his hands on the block.
You can see we're tied at 72. Under 3.5 minutes to go in the first overtime. Now Moncrief moving on Stewart. The shot is good.
Big size.
And it was fouled.
Big size advantage. That looked like the NBA right there. Remember I said if they get him isolated, they got to go after him. That's what they do. Moncrief at 6'3". He's got the size on Stewart. He just can't play with him. That was kind of ticky-tack. I don't know if it was a block. Maybe got him on the wrist, but Shawan just went over the top for 3.
And that's foul number 5 on Jamie Stewart.
And that's very smart play on the part of Moncrief. Very smart play.
And Stewart will have to be replaced. 5 fouls on Stewart. That's only the 8th foul called all day long on Bridgeport.
I don't know who's coming in the ball game, but I'll tell you what, it's kind of like sitting there and having to go and pinch hit in the 15th inning against Nolan Ryan. Man, David Hosier's coming in the ball game. I like his high school, Samuel Gompers High School in the Bronx.
Bridgeport takes the timeout. New Hampshire College leads by 2. We'll be back with more overtime right after these.
Has played the whole
Penman lead it by 2 in overtime. And when we resume, Shawan Moncrief will be on the line in an attempt to complete an old-fashioned three-point play.
Okay, what do they do defensively? Point guard has played the whole game. They got a new point guard in the game. I got to think Bailey's going to go and play the point. But are they going to change up the defense? Are they going to look to maybe play more of a box-type defense to take the ball out of Bailey's hands and force somebody else to beat him?
Moncrief giving the Penman a 3-point lead, and Bridgeport turns it over.
Big mistake. That's again, though, that's the quickness. I don't know if they saw it. Shawan, you got to be aware of his hands. He tried to go to the crossover dribble. I don't think he got his hand on the ball, but certainly Bailey was keeping an eye on it. I think he bounced it off his foot. He was keeping an eye keeping an eye on Moncrief's hands can be distracting.
Bino Ranson with it to Ray Blackwell. Less than 3 minutes to play in overtime.
Oh,
Blackwell
nice
with the hoop.
That's some smart play. Don't take time off the clock. Do what got you the lead and make it bigger.
Penman by 5.
Still, even with the 5-point lead, I say go right to the basket and play your game.
Christie, a turnaround shot, no good. Rebound by Boyce. Now Bailey. Bailey underneath to Hastings, lay it up, no good. Hastings again underneath. And we have a foul called on the Penman.
That's okay. Don't let it it's only a one-on-one situation. And don't let guys get layups at this stage of the game.
Only the second foul on Smith.
Blackwell does a nice job of staying away. Scott Smith says, hey, that's my ball. I'm going after it.
Osier Hastings on the line.
Hastings has got to make him. It's one-on-one. I love my favorite playing basketball, one-on-one. And they took it away from us. Okay, Osier.
Hastings now with 12 in the game. He came in averaging 6.6.
I like it. You know, that's the best thing. A guy stands there, he's got a one-on-one situation, everybody's yelling at him, and he buries the first. That's a tough thing to do at this stage of the game. How they can take it away from everybody this game, I don't know.
Hastings misses the second end of the 1-and-1.
I don't think they'll foul down the floor just yet.
Penman with the ball and a 4-point lead. 2:17 to go in the first overtime period.
I think they got to isolate on Blackwell because he's got the mismatch with Hosier in the ball game who hasn't played.
Now Blackwell holding the ball out deep as we approach the 2-minute mark. Now it's Bino Ranson. Ranson underneath lays it in.
Oh, man. Bailey came flying out of there. No call. And let the boys play. I think it's been a well-officiated game throughout.
Hosier swings it around. Oh, Hastings driving baseline off the glass and good.
Yeah, I can't give those up. Scott Smith's got to get over there. He's got no foul problem. He's got to be stronger.
Scotty Smith underneath.
What a pass! And nobody expects it to continue. Do these people scout these guys? Nobody expects him to beat people down the floor. He does it once or twice a game.
Now it's Bailey. Bridgeport needs points in a hurry here. 1:20 to go. Bridgeport trailing by 6.
They need to go for, they got to score. Oh,
Bailey loses it on the drive.
See, now, they've got Bailey playing the point. How big was Stewart found out of the ball game? They moved the guy who's not accustomed to playing the point there, and what do they have? 2 turnovers.
Yep, it's cost them twice here in the overtime since Jamie Stewart fouled out.
Bridgeport's got to start fouling. They're 2 possessions down right now.
In the forecourt to Rapaldi.
It's over if the Penmen score, take time off the clock and score. I think they got a foul.
Less than a minute to go in this one. Bino Ranson out deep near the midcourt stripe. Bino fouled by Bailey.
And what's the point of fouling now? 53 seconds remaining in the game when the Penmen got the ball. They had a minute 8. They lost 15 seconds there and wound up with the same result.
New Hampshire College taking a 20-second timeout with 53 seconds left in this one. And New Hampshire College on top. 6 on Bridgeport. Now it's Bino Ranson.
It's also a tough place to play that, Jim. There's like 9 people who go to the game, and it's a beautiful facility, but a vast cavern. Hard place to shoot. Get used to shooting. I think they're going to knock off Lemoyne.
Blackwell. Moncrief driving, lay it up and in.
Good job of avoiding Boyce, too, who was set up to take the charge. He jumped away from the baseline and just glided by him.
Now Bailey drives, lays it in, and he was fouled. Jeff Bailey now with 26 points for Bridgeport. There you see the Penmen up by 6 with 22 seconds left.
Look at this, the quickness, and he just goes through, are those 4 white shirts? 1, 2, 3, 4, and he still goes in there and takes it. How quick was that? And how big was the foul?
4th foul on Ray Blackwell. And Bailey converts the 3-point play. Penmen lead it by 5 with 22 seconds to go. As you look at the veteran head coach, Bruce Webster.
I'll tell you, I think that's one thing if they're going to try and speed up games. We'll talk about it. We'll speed it up by taking a break, and then we'll come back and I'll tell you. Not a lot of secrets here. 5 points in 2 possessions. Penmen need to, number 1, take care of the basketball no matter what. Even if they're going to be a foul, it only takes them 1 second to foul. Number 2, it would help if they could take some time off the clock. And number 3, make their foul shots. If they make 2 foul shots here, although they'll only be in the 1-on-1 situation, when they get fouled, it becomes a 3-possession game. That means it's over, I think.
Bino Ranson to put the ball in play. Now off to Blackwell, back to Bino.
Got a foul.
Foul on Bailey. And now it'll be 1-on-1. That's 7 fouls on Bridgeport.
How many on Bailey?
It's only 2. 18 seconds left. Penmen by 5.
All right, 18 seconds left. He makes. First one, of course, is the most important because then they can't get beat by 2 threes. Makes the second one. It's a 7-point ball game, which means it's 3 possessions no matter what they make on their first 2. And I don't think they can score unless there's a quick steal somewhere along the line. after the second basket that they can get 3 scores in 18 seconds.
Bino is now 6 for 6 from the line today and 20 points in the ball game.
I think Bridgeport only has 1 timeout left, too, so they can't stop the clock after their second score. What they'll do is they'll probably score, take the timeout, so the clock stops. But if they score twice, they won't be able to stop the clock, so you can let it run down 5 seconds.
Bino now with 21 points in the ball game and a timeout on the court with 18 seconds remaining in over.
At least my banking is easy. Checking account, payroll, lines of credit. First NH Bank has always been there for my growing business. When you spend your day at the office 10 miles off the Isles of Shoals, it's good to have a bank and a banker there.
Back to action, the shot, no good. Rebound, knocked out of bounds. And they say last touch by New Hampshire College.
That's good ball. Ken, the big thing here, don't foul anybody to stop the clock. Give them the basket. Well, it's going to take them 3 seconds to score. Let them take 5 off the clock. It's down to 3. They can't lose it if they do that.
Christie throws up an air ball. It's kept alive. Seconds left. The shot no good. Rebound no good, and that'll do it. The Penman defeats the University of Bridgeport in overtime by a score of 85 to 78. And we'll wrap things up on CWR.